All right, y'all, leading live on the road out here. We're calling it America's 250 Roadshow. There's the inside of the Irma. People still eating in that beautiful restaurant. I'm hanging out over here in the saloon. That's Brenda in the background. AJ, I just asked her to come over here. I like people that are all business. She's 100% business. And I said, she goes, I just got too much to do before my shift change. I was like, okay. She goes, but if I get caught up, I'll come over. So her priority is getting her job done. She doesn't care about the vanity of it. So, but I'd love for y'all to meet her. She's a fascinating character, and she was working here. She's a lot of these folks that are here in these jobs have done these jobs for years. How many people have we interviewed? Uh, Even here, one lady has worked here 27 years. That's what, for a small town, we've talked a lot about economics and small town character during some of these shows. And Joe from Coleman was just making some good points about Coleman and this same struggle. It was an interesting thing we got into because the mayor's interview earlier here in Cody. But you know, part of what holds a small town together are businesses like this, local businesses that stay there. The character stays if the people stay. Does that make sense? I'm from an area that has suffered from brain drain and a lot of drain because of economics. That can be traced back to bad government decisions with NAFTA and CAFTA, where they exported our jobs and all the core jobs in industry fail and go away, and then the other businesses go away and people have to move to find opportunity. And these small towns get boarded up. And so it's always fascinating to me the towns that make it work, particularly in the South. You got some towns that are good at keeping that character and keeping that way of that, I guess you would call it lifestyle, way of life, quality of life issues that all governments talk about all the time, but don't always deliver on. So the one hand, you got to retain what makes your town, what makes your area of the world special, and not lose it. But then there's the growth issue, and that's what we started talking about with the mayor just a second ago, of how do you also continue to grow and improve things, but not let your city get overrun. In a lot of ways, I know I'm just rambling, got a little deep here at the top of the hour, but a lot of ways that relates back to the immigration issue that we're dealing with here in the country. I just saw a story where Texas, apparently in the Fifth Circuit, has just won a huge case in the appellate level, saying that there was a program that somebody had instituted. I don't understand all the details of it, but it would give discounted tuition to illegal immigrants. That is subsidizing. It's like a suicide pact. You're subsidizing people that will come and by design change the character of your communities. We're watching countries in Europe struggle with that, with the immigration waves from Islamic countries that have come in and just taken over whole sections of countries and cities, particularly urban areas in Paris and in France and in England, and we've seen the Irish lately upset about this. These are all kind of the same story. It's human groups running into other human groups and migration itself. And so it's very subtle when you talk about Americans moving to other parts of America. We have a phrase that we use. I've seen T-shirts around Alabama because folks in California are trying to get out. They're trying to get away from bad government policies and bad culture. I mean, we even had one of our guests earlier who's been here for a while move because the politics of Colorado got untenable. I can understand that. Colorado's gone hyper liberal, and so people do that. They will flee oppression and run to opportunity. It's what a lot of the people did 250 years ago as this country was being formed, and before that. So it's not new in the human condition, but again, this assimilation is so necessary. Whether you're a small town in America and you're trying to grow businesses and invite in commerce, you can't wreck the city doing it. And then there's that other balancing act of keeping your talent, keeping folks at home, people staying intact and in place. And it's not easy. It's really not to achieve it. But you know the warning signs, and when we see it in our country, it has to be reversed. We've been overwhelmed, particularly the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years before Trump got back into office, with foreign immigration. And some of that has led to the politics of Americans leaving where what they know, and we are talking a lot about the Californians. The phrase I was telling you about, we have a T-shirt in Alabama that says, don't California my Alabama. And the folks out here kind of feel that way. They know what they have. They know the beauty of the land and the culture of respect that they've built through generations. And they're very welcoming if you're going to come be part of it, not if you're going to come in here and tell them how you did it back in Illinois, which will soon be the case because people are getting the hell out of that state as well. I saw a story today where there is a petition being filed in Illinois for folks that live there in the other counties that don't vote the way they vote around Chicago. They're basically trying to build a wall around Cook County. It's fascinating to me, similar to what's happening in we're seeing these kind of efforts in Oregon. There's one going on in Canada where Alberta is trying to break away from the rest of Canada. I don't know where they go, if they try to get adopted by the United States. From time to time, the geographical boundaries that were drawn years and years ago as these states were formed, they don't match the political realities of what's on the ground, particularly when cities can ruin the rest of the state. And so you're seeing folks in California that would like to break off Northern California. That's an old issue because of their politics. And you hate to see that in places around the country. But when folks come crashing in and try to ruin what's there or to not adapt what's there, you get changes. Here's another example of that. I didn't realize I'd mentally get onto this theme this hour as we look at some more of these. Let me switch this camera around and give you all some more let's look at the camel again. Let's go back over here and look at Romeo and see what he's got going on. He's out here he's entertaining the kids. You see him? Can you see him, AJ? I'm trying to flip these cameras around while I'm rambling with all this stuff. There's something going on in New York that's really fascinating today in the city. There is some, I'm a little vague on it. I have to scroll through the headlines very, very quickly, but Italian Americans of Italian heritage are up in arms because this Mayor Mondani has Mamdani, whatever the hell they call him, the commie mayor there's some map that they just put out of heritage communities in the city. And guess what he did? This is going to shock y'all. He left the Italians off. By design, he and his committee of perverts and weirdos and Islamo-commies, they left the Italians off the heritage map. The Italians built New York City. Let me just repeat that. Italians and Irish and those people that came there, and especially in some of the earlier days with the banking sector and financial sector, are the core and the heart of the identity of that city, period. We all know there's a famous whole area called Little Italy where they all kind of settled together. Did they all get along? No. They had skirmishes in it, and they became New Yorkers, and they brought their food and their amazing heritage and all that with them. They didn't stay Italians. They came to be America. First, they tried to take Columbus Day from these people and ignore that where one of their own is being celebrated. And now they would just want to erase them from the maps. These cultural Marxists are amazing in their hubris and their boldness. And these are things that the dominoes start to fall in places like New York, you'll see all around the country. I was reading a story today about a place in Arkansas where the Islamists have come in and they're trying to set up their own governmental system that adheres to Sharia in Little Rock, Arkansas, which we may be going through on the way home, where they're trying to set up their own sort of fiefdom, and they got this loyalty pledge. They're going to adhere to their, again, it's not just a religion, it's an education system. They've got a militant wing that does their violence. It's their army. They've got a legal code that they're supposed to adhere to that's ancient and barbaric. And they're not just wanting to come here into this country to assimilate to what's already here and to become Arkansans. They're going there to set up a beachhead, to plant a flag, and to grow what they do. The thing about Islam is they never acquiesce. They never bend the knee. They never assimilate. They don't want to. They're more loyal to their beliefs and heritage, which they've got a right to do, and they should do that in their countries, not our countries, and not our states, and not our places. Again, the word is assimilation. If you're the guest and you're moving into an area, you should become part of that area. You should adapt what those people do. Yeah, bring your ideas, bring something positive to the table. But what we're seeing with this bum rush of immigration is these people aren't bringing anything. They're bringing nothing but expense. And you look at the numbers bear that out. That's not just an opinion. In the Somalians in Minnesota, for example, what was it? 80% of them are on the public dole. We used to have a standard on immigration in the country that you cannot come in if you're going to be what in those days they called a public charge. That's the legal the legal language in the day. You had to prove you had education, talent, a job, resources, family, or some way to sustain yourself if we let you in. Not only did we quit doing that kind of vetting, we just started letting everybody in. And then immediately our government did the opposite, putting them on the dole, putting them on subsistence and dependence on these government programs to get them here by design to blow things up. Immigration is a weapon. And so whether it's a small town trying to preserve its character and balance that against growth, or a whole country trying to maintain the integrity of the country, which we're seeing here, we're seeing all over Europe and in other parts. Again, it's not a fluke. It's organized. It's a design. To me, these are all the similar issues. People groups have to learn how to get together. Some people groups don't want to be civilized. They don't want to get along. They don't want to play by the rules. They want to change everything because they don't want to take responsibility for themselves in a country dedicated to freedom. And freedom comes with responsibility that if you're given all these rights, you're going to take it from there. You're not going to demand other people's rights to be taken away because you can't keep up, because you won't keep up, because you won't behave, because you don't understand the ethic that built this place. And what built this place was not Muslims. It was not people from Uganda. It was not. It's just history. Not that you can't contribute, but to do that, you got to come here and want to be here and want to contribute to here and have something to offer to the rest of us. And we say, you know what, that's cool. Come on in. In the case of a lot of these Hispanic workers, those guys work their ass off. Yeah, let them in. They can prove it. They've got a contract to work for a company. They've got an ethic that shows they'll get up before the sun comes up and get the stuff done. So that's what the country wants to assimilate in. And what you've got to do is move everything else out, or you're going to lose what you have. In some ways, the immigration ruling that Supreme Court made the other day about people that fly in here and have these this birthright citizenship issue, there is, let me just tie it all together and then we'll get back on the phones. There is a story today floating around, and I don't believe it, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway, that behind the scenes, Justice Amy Coney Barrett is expressing regret over her vote on birthright citizenship because of some new information that's come out about billboards and businesses being set up in Mexico offering birthright tourism, which is if you can fly into the country, they've got clinics set up so that you can download kids in the United States and make them automatic citizens. The Chinese are doing it. Their whole houses. I saw an image the other day of a home. On the outside, it looks like a home. On the inside, they had like 27 baby cribs where people are flying in and giving birth on our soil to qualify their people as American citizens. That is a suicide pact for any country. No real civilized countries in the world do it that way. None of them. But our Supreme Court just allowed that to continue. And the story is, Amy, the Trump administration today, I don't know if they've made the actual filing, but they have petitioned for the court to reconsider that. And I think that's wise. I don't know that the court will. I don't even know what that process is. Personally, I don't remember the court ever doing that. I don't remember rehearing a case immediately after a vote like that, as controversial as it was. Either way, and for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, I don't remember a court going, wait a minute, one of us changes their mind. But behind the scenes, you've got a lot of reporting that particularly Amy Coney Barrett, after discovering these birthright citizenship campaigns and organizations, has now come to regret her vote. Does it mean anything? We'll find out. I'm dubious that story, if it's true, okay, but would they do it? I'm very dubious that they would ever do anything like that. All right, watching people pet Romeo the camel on the outside of the Irma here in Cody, Wyoming. We'll get back on the phones too. I just needed to get some things off my chest about all these things. Sometimes when you read the news all day, it all starts making, just kind of tying together. One story is the same story as the other stories, and that's what we got with some of the stuff in the world, not just here in America right now. Douglas Cooling and Heating, ready to come get you buttoned up for summer. It's been hot. It's going to be hot. We're just in July, and there's a long way to go. Keeping your system serviced is really, really, really critical to the longevity of the unit and keeping your power bills down. Some of us are going to get a shock here in a few days when the power bills come out from all the electricity use. So do something about it. Later we'll tell you about EcoView windows. We talk about them a lot. Keep your house insulated and buttoned up, but have that unit serviced. Get that thing a bath. Take it, let the spa come to it, and that's what they do at Douglas. They will do the service work, help you with your power bills. Little small problem could get headed off that could have caused a big problem. I don't even know what you call all that stuff in there. Douglas is a company that I've trusted for 17 years on every home I've owned in that time period to take care of all of these things. Emergency work, new install coming up this summer that I'm going to do with Douglas, all the cleanings and service work and all that in between. They've got a plumbing division too. If you wind up with an emergency plumbing situation, they're good as gold with that. All those home services. Here's how you get them. CallDouglas.com. That's easy. CallDouglas.com. License number 2017181. CallDouglas.com. Back here live from the road in Cody, Wyoming in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, y'all, 525. Let's get on back in here. I got a special guest that I just found during the break, AJ. I think you're going to enjoy this gentleman, of course. Ox Foundation Solutions bringing you the show tonight. oxstrong.com. We got a lot of home services companies on the show, and when it comes to foundation issues, that is way over my head. Plus, I don't like getting under there. I'm not getting under the house. So if you sense anything's wrong, the presence of water, the smell, I mean, you can taste mold in the air when your house starts getting sick. Get Ox over there. They handle all of these things from leveling the whole house. That's on the bigger end of the equation, down to just water removal, crack repair, mold removal, encapsulation, concrete leveling. They do it all, and it's good to have a company with this much technology and those highly trained folks. It is oxstrong.com. Get them over there and take a look, especially in this rainy season. Make sure you're buttoned up. And these are the people that have been on with us for years and taking care of so many people in the audience so professionally. Oxstrong.com. Well, here are a couple little beauty shots of Cody, Wyoming, as we get set up for the next segment. And here I am hanging out at the bar. I turned around and just started talking to this fine gentleman. Let me get this camera angled up just right. Who is, I saw the Vietnam shirt, and I made the presumption that, he was in the Vietnam War for the United States, but you told me you're an Australian.
Yeah, I come from Australia, yeah.
So you fought in Vietnam from Australia?
Yeah, part of the US 7th Fleet, though, in 1968 and 70.
How about that?
I did 2
and
tours.
So you come, and I asked him, AJ, I was like, what's an Australian doing in Cody, Wyoming? Tell the audience what you told me.
Come up to see a rodeo and see the town. I catch up with a lot of buddies from the US forces all the time. I come over every year or two when I can. And I said, you got to get up to Cody if you like the rodeos, and, which I did.
So have you been to the rodeo here yet?
Yeah, I've been to the rodeo. Actually, I was guest to the local chapter, your VFW, your commander.
Okay.
Took me to the rodeo. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, do they have rodeos in Australia?
Oh,
you got
yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah, we're world champions. Actually, I think last week there was some Australians competing. Yeah.
How about that? I thought you guys just like fought kangaroos and stuff.
Oh, I got a lot of them on my property come through every day.
Do you really?
Yeah, I live out in the bush.
You ever punch one in the face? I see videos where people do that. They just punch the kangaroo.
No, well, I don't. They just look at me. They run the place.
What do you think about this land out here as it compares to home, or what do you think about America in general, actually?
Well, I've said this many, many times. I served from 1967 to 2013 in the Royal Australian Navy.
Yeah.
46 years active duty. And prior to that, 2 years full-time study with the Australian Defence Force and munitions. And I've been working with Americans all those years.
Yeah.
And we're like brothers.
I bet you are. And some of your buddies live in this area, so you get to go hang out with them.
Yeah. Not actually here in Cody. I go and see my friends in Alta, just out of.
Yes, sir.
And I got a mate I stay with in Salt Lake City. He was a Marine pilot in 65, 66.
Yeah.
Did 2 tours, and then again in 68. So I catch up with him, and I catch up with all my buddies down in California, down in Coronado.
But they love seeing you. How long are you here, or when do you go back?
Until Monday, a week in Alta, then another week in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And then 2 more weeks in Coronado, down in California, and head off back home.
That's a nice trip. What part of Australia do you live in?
I live 2.5 hours north of Melbourne, which is in Victoria, southern state, on 5 acres. And talk about kangaroos, I get a mob come through every morning and night, and I don't worry about shutting the gate or I haven't got a back fence.
Do you really eat Vegemite?
Oh, love Vegemite.
Do you look? We have it in the stores here in some places.
Yeah.
Do you ever eat Vegemite when you're here in the States?
No, because when I bring it over, everyone grabs it off me.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for spending a couple of minutes with us.
No worries, man.
Good folks. You're talking to a lot of people back in Alabama right now. You ever been to Alabama?
No, but I've been to Pennsylvania. I've been to Norfolk, Virginia.
Well, come on to Alabama. We'll treat you right.
Oh, I hope to get.
You got to have our barbecue.
Oh, I love barbecues. I got 5 different barbecues back home.
Tell me your name again.
Shady.
Thank you for your service.
Shady Lane, but my name's Roy, but they call me Shady.
I like that. I know you served them, but you served with us. Thank you for your service, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Back here in just a minute in Cody. Yeah, he did. Let me make sure I got this thing all turned up. AJ, it's amazing that song is a happy toe tapping sing along about smoking crystal meth. Is exactly what the song's about. Somehow, my people. What can I say? That comes from my culture, the Appalachian Brotherhood. Y'all, let's get going again. I always try to make it as awkward as possible for Thomas over at Stockton Mortgage at 5:30 every afternoon. So, Thomas, you got to go from crystal meth to mortgages. Let's see what you got.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. No, I went from an 8-year-old rodeo kid yesterday to crystal meth today. I mean, what a wonderful! It's the sunshine and rainbows. I'm hoping for sunshine and rainbows tomorrow.
We'll do something. I'll come up with something.
Okay, crystal meth. Hey, one thing you said, the Appalachian Mountains of Kentucky. I mean, that's where Stockton Mortgage is up there in Kentucky. That's where Stockton Mortgage home office is. Man, we're
Oh wow. Okay.
had another. That's right. It's been a wonderful day again today, and so we've got a lot of pre-approvals going out, and man, we're closing up a lot of loans, helping a lot of families get into new homes. What I want to talk to you today about is we just closed up a refinance where I had a local family, a local listener contact us about needing to save some money, and been hearing about that, and contact us had some credit card debt, needed to also wanted a little bit of cash out to do some renovations on their home, and just did not, with the economy, didn't have the money laying around, had a little bit of savings, but didn't want to spend a little nest egg, but they had plenty of equity in their house, so they contacted us. We were able to get to pay off their credit card debt and get the equity cash out they needed to be able to do a renovation on their home. They want to add their windows they needed to replace several windows in their home and put a new roof on the house, and we're able to get that cash out available that they needed to do all of those renovations and save them $700 a month off the credit card debt after getting that cash out. So we were able to lower their monthly budget by $700 and do all of those other renovations, which was fantastic for that family. So we always love to help families in need. So give us a call today. Let us sit down with you and see what we can do to help you save money. 205-859-8859 or savewithstockton.com.
SaveWithStockton.com. Thomas, we appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, sir. Remember, sunshine and rainbows tomorrow.
Sunshine and rainbows tomorrow. It'll be Skittles. Man. Just wait on it.
All right, man. Yes, sir.
There's Thomas tonight checking in with us, doing what we can as we get ready to wrap things up here from Cody, Wyoming. I saw this story a second ago. I don't know when they play. Let me see if I can pull that up. AJ, France and Morocco are going at it in the World Cup next. And apparently the last one of the teams won a game. And so there are a bunch of Moroccans in France. We were just talking about immigration waves and all that stuff. And I think the last time Morocco won a big game, they pretty much tried to burn France to the ground. Has France already won this thing? I was like, yeah, France already won. So the story I was talking about was they were boarded up ahead of the match all over Paris. They were putting plywood on everything and hiding cars because no matter who won, there was a chance of mass rioting. These people take soccer very, very seriously. So we're just watching. I'm just looking here at the final matches. We'll see if anything breaks out over there. The other big story today was, of course, third day of bombing in Iran. Apparently, we are hitting military targets still, except for a train bridge that connected Iran to China and Russia and some of the surreptitious weapons development, I guess, supply chain that they were able to smuggle in to the country even under this pressure that we've given them. So fascinating world of developments. The Tyler Robinson situation today, just very emotional, very direct. Everybody that had a conspiracy theory about that ought to shut the hell up now and be done with it. None of that stuff ever made any sense. What does make sense are facts and evidence and a real case being built, and that's what you saw today with the little impish twit lover of the guy and a video where he talked about the confession. Very, very emotional testimony in the courtroom today. Those are some of the bigger headlines. If Rick is still there, AJ, we'll go back to the phones for a few minutes as it's getting boisterous again in here inside the saloon at the famous Irma Hotel out here on the road in Cody, Wyoming. One more plug for our sponsor of the trip, too, my friend Stan and his whole crew at Appalachian Foothills RV Park and Service Center. If you're getting on the road yourself with whatever your ride is, they can handle any of your service work, routine maintenance, body work, crazy things that break. I mean, you're basically going down the road in a house that jiggles and rattles and bumps over things, and stuff shakes loose when you're out there on the road. They're there to patch you back up and keep you going. It's part of the life. It's part of the travel life. When you need a good, reliable service center to take care of that. They're in Winfield off exit 30, right there off I-22. You'll appreciate how they treat you and know that you're dealing with some very, very experienced veterans of the industry that can get you buttoned up. And they got an RV park where you can hang out there, too. It's Appalachian Foothills RV Park and Service Center. Is Rick still there, AJ?
Yes, he is.
All right, let's go to Rick real quick, get him in here before we wrap things up here in the Irma Hotel. Rick, what you got, buddy?
Oh, you got it. Y'all living the life. Hey,
Yeah,
enjoy it, boys. There ain't no better place.
it's pretty out
It's
here.
the best place. As much as they want to destroy it, you know, if they want to replace us all, bring us to a different form of government than other than that which we have received, which is Christianity.
Yeah, look, it's not an exaggeration, and I know people try to call that accusation conspiratorial. It's real. They're saying it themselves. They're taking these actions. They're instituting things that are the opposite of our Constitution, that are the enemies of our constitutional way of government. Our Constitution and our government itself has been at war with these ideologies for 250 years. That's not an exaggeration. These same people and what they believe have been trying to do these things in this country for 250 years. And so far we've survived it, but we can't let the guard down. We've got to bring awareness to all of this stuff.
Amen. Preach it, brother. I appreciate you. I love everything you guys do, and I've been listening for a long time.
Well, I appreciate you, Rick. Thank you, man. It said on the screen, thank you, Rick, wanted to talk about something I have not brought up. We did talk about it when the news was first breaking the other day, but this building collapse in New York City. Now, the whole thing hasn't collapsed. They're trying to shore it up. They've had this evacuation. It's a big deal in that city, and we're talking about them. So the way I understand it right now is this is the old Pfizer headquarters, and the symbolism in that is just so thick. And there were some beams, steel beams in there that started buckling. The way people found out were bricks started hitting the sidewalk down below. Now, a lot of times if you ever walk to New York City, they'll put up these pedestrian walkways that have the scaffolding over them. It's how they get to the side of the buildings. They still allows the foot traffic, but you almost can't get around in New York City without walking everywhere. And so it allows the foot traffic to pass underneath those buildings pretty safely. A lot of that scaffolding is going to catch anything that falls. But this stuff started falling. Workers then noticed, and now it's all a bunch of finger pointing. The building, and this is where I start becoming suspicious, was being renovated to turn it into, quote, low-cost housing. What I want to know is, well, who was developing it? What were the safety standards? Were they cutting corners to keep the cost down so they could turn around and, quote, offer it at low cost to people who live in the city? This is probably the bastard child of 1,000 fathers, this incident, which I'm not even sure the building could be saved. So they've got some of the best engineers and construction workers in the world in that city. So if any city has the expertise to fix it, they do. But something's wrong here. That's just it's very much out of character for the way things that are done in that city are so heavily regulated and watched and monitored. Somehow somebody cut some corners here, and it became a very dangerous situation, not just for the people that were in the building working on it, but everything around it. I think they had to evacuate a school. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of coverage about it today because there's been so many other news stories to pop out, but to me, my gut tells me there's a story behind that story of that building falling apart just suddenly like that, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. Or if the city had something to do with improper inspections or cutting corners to be able to stick this cheap commie stuff out there for people to you just, well, I'll save that soapbox for a later show. We're going to run out of time if I don't hurry up. Let me talk to you about Allen and Company over in Vestavia. Every time we turn the corner, after July 4th, I call it turning the corner. We're kind of in the second half of the year. One of the things that just puts a smile on my face is thinking about the holidays and fall's coming. Here comes football season and just that wonderful time of the year. The weather gets better. And with that, Allen and Company is there for you if you're already smart enough to be doing some future planning for gift giving for somebody you love this Christmas. If it's going to be a nice, expensive piece of fine jewelry, well, then go to Allen and Company and let them get you exactly what you need in a custom way. Allen's a master jeweler, and he can handle it for you. He'll absolutely put together something beautiful for you or somebody that you love, whether it's an engagement setting. One of the popular things people are doing nowadays are diamond upgrades, where, man, she's put up with you for decades now, and she wants a bigger stone in that original setting. They can absolutely do that for you. And here's the thing, because Allen does the work, and you take them the original piece, which has so much sentimentality, they don't have to ship this thing off and have that work done anywhere. He does it in their shop. Everything stays in their vault. They put it right back in your hand or produce it for you on a really tight turnaround. Allen tries to get repairs and upgrades and, broken things turned back around into you within a business week. And so there's a lot of confidence there. And you're dealing, like we've talked a lot about on the show tonight, with a wonderful family, the Thompsons, who are just two generations. When your family name is on a business, you just care about what you do. It's your family's identity. And I look out for places like that to do my business with. And if you're looking for a good local shop that's 100% custom, they got the same diamonds as the whole world, just better service, better prices, very custom stuff. It's Allen. By the way, they do have financing. We don't talk as much about that. I get a lot of questions about that, but they do offer financing at Allen and Company. All right, quick break. We'll come back, wrap things up here in Cody, Wyoming. Back in a minute. How loud is it, AJ?
Man, it's really loud. Sound like they're having a really good time.
Just figured out this one camera that's on me right now follows me around. I'm about to talk to those dudes back behind me. First, let me tell you about FloorTech Coatings. If you got concrete, you don't want to leave it naked. Don't have naked concrete. It's going to absorb stains and oils, and I have spilt my barn floor is still raw, and I've got to get this thing coated because I used to clean things up as soon as I spilled it, but over time it's going to happen. I got paint, I got glitter where I threw little girl birthday parties in there. I got neon paint. I'm going to get FloorTech to come do it. Now, this is a big project, but what they convinced me of at FloorTech, Kevin showed me how they do things. He's a local guy. This is a local company that just put a better product out there. It's a more pure product. They took the impurities out of these failed floor coatings and came up with something new that they call FloorTech. You can customize it exactly to the color you want with their very sophisticated system. You're not getting 16 samples to pick from. You can slide that little fader to any color you want, decide how much of the little flake or speckles, you want to call it that, chips people call it. Decide how much of that you want in there and what color on those as well. They'll mix it up and come out there and apply it themselves. They got their own crews, and it will last. It'll last longer than you will. It goes with the house. They guarantee it for life. They believe in their product at FloorTech. FLOORTEK. You got to spell tech that way. FloorTechCoatings.com. All right, I'm about to take 2 risks, AJ. I'm feeling cocky. If you're out here on the road, if you're not taking some risk, we're not having any adventure, right? So my first risk is to invite my wife in and put my marriage on the line to see. She just walked in. She's all dolled up. I said, you got to come on the air with me for a minute, and let me see if I can get this camera back on you. And then I'm going to walk around the bar here for a second before we close out tonight. Hey, what's happening? She's my associate producer sometimes, whether she likes it or not, when we're out here on the road. What you been up to this afternoon while I'm over here working hard?
Oh, just a little shopping, as you've told everybody.
She got mad at me last night, AJ, because she said I was complaining about her shopping. I was like, I was not complaining. I was relating. People understand women like to shop, and guys got to have something to do. Can you hear, AJ? Guys got to have something to do. Mm-hmm.
Well,
tell her, AJ.
He likes to pretend like he's not shopping, too. I would just like everybody to know he is also shopping.
Oh, yeah, he's probably got, hats. I know there's, a leather. There's something leather that he bought. I know there's got to be something leather he bought.
You are so correct, sir. I did get a new hat. I got a couple of shirts. I can't remember what all I bought on this trip.
I can't either.
I looked at my card and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because you get in the moment, you're like, I'm going to dress this way forever. And then you go back home and I don't wear that stuff.
Well, and it's memories, at least
It
for
is.
me. I like to look at it in my closet and know where I got that.
And she's pretty good at the cowgirl look. I think you decided that's your look. She's this bougie Alabama girl, but this cowgirl look's working.
It's cute. It's cute. We should embrace it more back home.
All right. Just wanted to drag you into it because she has been, AJ, she solves my problem. She brings me guests. She helps me with my tech, and then she goes and she's managing her own empire, but she still makes time for this and puts up with my snoring and farting and grumpy attitude on the road.
I try to look out for him. It's hard work out here and setting this up. And
It's a lot. People think I'm on vacation, but not the work weeks. It's just pure, it's transportation and communication is all it is.
it's hard work. I did my company's third quarter meeting from the RV bathroom.
Yeah, she had to go hide. AJ, she had to go hide in the bathroom while I was doing the show one day just to be able to pull that off.
Yes, thank goodness for virtual backgrounds.
I was going to make a joke, but I won't. All right, so here we go. Let me. AJ, can you hear me on this mic?
Yes.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm mobile, taking some chances. If y'all are watching online, you can watch me crash and fail. I'm going to see if this camera will follow me out of the frame. So these guys over here in the back during the break, they said, what, are you famous or something? I said, just in a little part of the world. And so they said they wanted to be famous, so I'm going to make them famous for 5 minutes. Can y'all see me on the screen, AJ?
Yes, we can see you.
All right, so the mobile stuff is working. Hey, brother, what's your name?
My name's Eric.
You live here?
We got married here. Her dad lives here.
What's with the mustache, man?
She loves mustache. Can I say it on
Do
the air?
you want him to shave it, or is that?
Oh, no, I actually wanted him to shave his beard, so we had the mustache.
I think the mustache is cool. I wish I could pull it off, but I couldn't pull it. They think I was. No, I can't do it.
She likes mustache rides, so that's why.
Oh, look out now. See, now you're infamous. Not famous, you're infamous.
It's a flavor saver.
No,
It's a flavor saver.
I try to explain that to people that don't have them. You know what I mean?
Flavor saver? Yes. Sir.
What's your name?
I'm Reed.
You from here?
Yes, sir.
You hang out here a lot?
Yeah, from time to time.
Tell me about the place. I've gotten different takes on the Cody and the Irma and all this whole scene right here.
Nice people. Good people. Yeah.
You can tell.
Owners are nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, now you're famous.
Oh, hey, man, cool. You know, now we need sponsors. We need sponsorships. We need sponsors.
Poncho.
Those are good shirts.
Gordon, you want to get
Look,
famous?
my bros over here, we're Poncho Bros.
Poncho?
Look, AJ, it's the Poncho Bro Club. We all got on Poncho shirts.
You want to be live on the radio?
Yeah, you're live on the, you're actually on the internet right now. I didn't get your permission. Don't shoot me.
Don't shoot you. Why not?
Because it would hurt. Man, that guy's scary. I'm getting the hell away from him.
Yeah, he said, why not?
But think about it. These some bitches have guns on them. What they don't do is, so do I. Excuse me while I whip this out. I'm just kidding. All right, that's going to just about do it for us, AJ. I'm looking at the clock, making sure I'm on time. Let me tell you about Crocker Moving Services one more time. I think I can switch back to the better microphone. Oh, that's a lot better. Crocker Moving Services. If a lot of folks talking about moving, man, we've had a lot of moving discussion on the show tonight. If you're ever thinking about it, y'all reach out to Crocker and let them take care of you. That whether it's just some heavy stuff, because man, you're just getting too old to fool with it. I can relate to that. It's a young man's game to get your buddies over to the house for some beer and pizza and do a move. But man, at some stage of life, you need to pay the pros, especially if you've got nice things that you could drop yourself. That's on you. Crocker's bonded and insured. They got all the tricks of the trade to be able to handle anything that you need moving around those tight corners and up those stairs. And in my case, they moved a safe over it was basically a little creek. It was sort of a drainage area. There was no easy way into the house with this project. There was no sidewalks, nothing to roll on. So these guys had some amazing tricks of laying down plywood and creating a path. And we took some doors off. They got this thing moved. And did so very, very quickly, and I've always appreciated them with everything I've ever had to do. And I love that 2-hour rate, the fact that you can do a 2-hour minimum and that be all you have to pay for. And that's their minimum. You can talk to them about how they calculate that, but they've got to account for their time. But that's really efficient if you've got something small. But if you got something big, if you decide you're going to pack up and move out west and come live in one of these towns, they can bring you all the way out here. They can handle all of it. Eric's a great guy. It's CrockerMovingServices.com, CrockerMovingServices.com. A couple more beauty shots of downtown Cody, and then we're going to pack up and hit the road again and wind up in Buffalo tomorrow. We should have a fun time over there, too. Hope you all are enjoying these trips. 545-9950. If you ever want to give us a ring and be part of it, come on in. We're still taking phone calls and dealing with the headlines. And the biggest headline of the hour as I get on out of here is probably continued bombing in Iran right now. And still a lot of questions about Trump switching out of the new Air Force One. I saw a headline on the screen a little while ago that said Air Force which one? Because he just keeps moving planes, and your instincts tell you it's got something to do with the threat environment and international travel as it relates to this Iran situation. But maybe there'll be more reporting on that as we go through. Friday. Is tomorrow Friday already? Yeah, it is. AJ, appreciate all your help on the back end, man. I know I throw a lot at you in these shows.
It's all good. I just enjoy, and I'm just glad I'm able to be a part of this journey celebrating America 250.
America 250. All right. We will see y'all tomorrow from Buffalo, Wyoming at that point.
All right.
See you, AJ.
Definitely look forward to it, and stay tuned for Breaking Bread coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.